got his toolkit ready, and he's got his glass on, he's got his lab coat on. Some serious science is about to go down on this channel, guys.
One. Oh, look at that. The air wasn't as good as opening. Oh, the Pro one. Woo! Oh! So it's 42 over here. This one's 44, but it's purely because the air is closer to the MacBook Pro, the 16-inch, the noisy one, which is going at 53 live streaming this show. That one at the top, they're both 10 gigabytes. 10 gigabytes inside. Oh, the air went first. It's expanding. The air is ahead of the show.
OMG.
This is a heavy intensive operation, unzipping files. And again, there's no fan noise. The air has won. With no fans, the air has beaten the Pro in the first test.
We'll do that
Something weird is going on because the MacBook Pro has got Epic Games Launcher up and running. Look at that, free game text assist, whether in Farming Simulator add-on available. I downloaded Farming Simulator for free. So Epic Games Launcher is live and running on the MacBook Pro. Yet on the Air, it's still not there.
That's weird. Is it just crashed? Or?
No, it's probably just doing something, but slowly. The Air is 29.5, 29.8, so it's the same sort of thermals. The fans aren't running on the Pro, but I can't get Epic Games running on the Air, unfortunately. It was faster to unzip. It was faster to do all the other tasks. Yet when you start using the CPU and GPU, I guess, at the same time, that's when I'm noticing a difference. But because it's using more watts, it's draining the battery quicker. But it also means it can actually launch Epic Games Launcher without waiting half an hour like it seems to be having to wait on the Air. Final Cut Pro 10.5, they launched pretty much neck on neck launching. I'm not noticing any chugginess on the show. I'm gonna make it loop and I'll launch Activity Monitor on both to see what kind of delta in the metrics we're getting. So the CPU, it's around 50% usage. Same sort of usage situation here, and the GPU is about 40% usage. It's 25 degrees Celsius, and on the Pro it's also 25 degrees, and I can't hear the fans on the Pro. Boom. Now side by side.
Let's have a look.
Okay, they're doing it at the same speed this time. 20, 27, 34, 39, 45, 50.
That was weird.
It's literally
it's neck on neck now.
Oh, it's neck on neck, the same
Neck on neck.
speed. It's still able to do 2 film grains on the MacBook Air, which is the same as it is when it's not plugged into a display. Pro is 4 figures more points on Cinebench than the Air. It is 1,000, exactly 1,000 points faster, better than the MacBook Air.
Wow.
So that is 7600 divided by 6600. It is 15% faster on the CPU than the Air. See the difference between the two? So that's the MacBook Air right now. You're seeing it on the screen, making it full size, and that's the MacBook Pro you're seeing on the screen. The only application that I noticed a difference in battery life is Epic Games Launcher. That was doing Rosetta translation, and it was using the CPU and the GPU at the same time. So it looks like when you're using the CPU only, you're killing the battery, you're good. If you're using the GPU only and you're hitting the battery, you're good. But if you're using the CPU and the GPU at the same time, that's when the MacBook Pro uses more of the battery, drains the battery a lot quicker, but does perform better. 7,600. Look at that, guys. There is no difference in CPU between the MacBook Pro and the Mac Mini. The results of the second test are in. I think the Air won it again. I'm just seeing the results one more time. Pro had a single digit difference in CPU single core, so 1733 and 7432, whereas the Air single digit slower on the single core, but you got 35 points faster on the multi-core, and I was not expecting this. This is weird, this is strange. Heat wise, I'm touching the Air from the base and it's nice and warm. I can definitely put that one on my lap. It's not like the 16-inch MacBook Pro, and yeah, nice mild temperatures. That's interesting.
That is so
That's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. So this is the Pro, and this is the heat distribution on the Pro. So you're getting 36 degrees when it's on your lap, and the heat distribution is like all the way around. You see that? All the way nice and round. Whereas on the Air, the heat distribution is more lopsided. So sitting down, if you are running something super heavy, I guess this if you want to get into the nitty gritty, one of your legs is going to feel warmer than the other one of your legs. The Pro, the heat is going all the way to the middle of the laptop, whereas the Air, the heat is just purely at the top of the laptop's frame. So if you are having this MacBook Air on your lap like this, only the top part, you're going to feel the heat up there, so you can position it a bit further forward and you won't feel it hot at all whatsoever. Whereas the Pro, because the fan is pushing the heat towards the middle of the laptop, you're going to have to, you can't actually use it. You have to just rest it on your legs and you're going to feel a bit more of the heat. But it was 1 degree cooler than the Air. They said if you really know what you're doing and prepared for a broken experience, you can use an installation option on ARM. So there is a way to get it running, but they say it's broken. When you get something new, it's not going to work for the application that you use. You need to give it a few months. So you can choose to be someone that's going to be a pioneer and fix all these issues and be a hero for fixing all these issues and even make money on fixing these issues. Or you can be the kind of person that just, if you've got work to do on elsewhere, or if you're a student, hold back a little bit, wait until all the issues are fixed, and then jump on the show maybe next year when they fix it all up. Bootcamp Assistant cannot be used. This Mac does not support Bootcamp. This is fun. Install Windows on Parallels. Is this gonna work? We knew this was gonna happen, and it's official. Parallels has been blocked by macOS 11. It says system extension blocked. A program tried to load new system extensions and they need to be updated by the developer. So the old method that Parallels would use to virtualize Windows has been blocked by Apple, I guess because ARM isn't supported at the moment. So if you guys had hope that maybe somehow you could get Windows 10, at the moment you can't get it. The Pro has launched a simulator and the Air has launched the app a couple of seconds faster than the Pro. The Pro is a couple of seconds behind. Look like they're having a lot of fun on this screen. Look at that. Whoa, hello world. Hello world. So Xcode seems to be working the same on both. A second, but look, we've got the iPad simulator over here. We've got the iPhone simulator. I've got a lot of confidence in this. It doesn't seem like it's slowing down. It seems like it's running pretty all right. Good thing is wget seems to be downloading right now. We're going to compile it after it downloads and see if it works. Access to all photos. That's, look at it right there. Luma Fusion is on the screen, guys. That is pretty epic. So I'm using the timeline of Luma Fusion with a trackpad. It is a bit chuggy, but it's working. Like, look at the screen right here. This is on the Air. Hit play. Look at that, it's running.
Nice.
Can you hear any sounds? You can actually hear the sounds as well. Final Cut Pro anymore. You got Luma Fusion iOS app running pretty damn good. I don't know if you can see, we have an external display. We have the Mac Mini. Mac Mini is up and running. Now there is one thing I need to tell you about the Mac Mini that I've just noticed that you guys need to know this, and this may affect some people getting scared about the Mac Mini. So I've plugged in my Mac Mini to my external display using the Thunderbolt 3 port, or is it Thunderbolt 4 now? No, it's Thunderbolt 3. I hate my THs. And I'll just show you the screen. Look at that, up close and personal. Look at that, we have a live screen for you. And I don't know if you can tell, but if I'm moving my mouse, look how jittery it is. It is, you probably can't see, but there's one thing to be aware. If you are plugging it in using TB3, it is very, very choppy. So what you can do is, you can plug it in via the HDMI and it runs a lot smoother. So this is iPad apps and I can't see it anywhere here. I'm not seeing Pro Evolution Soccer either. This is 2 Point Hospital. I'm gonna hit play. Hopefully it'll work. Updating ticket. And it's bouncing. We're gonna let this guy bounce. We're gonna give it a few times to let it see what happens. Rosetta 2, maybe it's gonna do the business and it's gonna do some good damage. So just momentarily, Steam should be back in the screen. Yeah, weirdly enough, I closed Steam and I relaunched it and it's just bouncing icon. I'm trying to launch Heaven, it doesn't want to launch. On the other Macs, when I tried running Steam, it just refused to run. I'll see if it can run on this one. So I'm going to switch out of the Mac Mini.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna, oh wait, ooh, look at that. That looks nice.
That was 86 frames a second right now. I'm bombing it with Geekbench and Cinebench at the same time. Use 100% of the CPU, 100% of the GPU, and it says the fans are going 3,000 or 5,000 right now. and I am ever so slightly hearing them. 15% faster on Cinebench. I can't actually get the App Store working. The Mac is gone. It's actually nothing is clicking. Nothing is clicking. I'm gonna have to launch terminal and do sudo reboot 0. Plus, oh, what is this? This looks like a fun game. It's running pretty well. Gotta say, I don't know how my voice sounds using the MacBook Pro with Fan Noise City. I know who the imposter is, by the way. It's basic. This is what was that? What just happened? And that guy is not available.
Asphalt 9.
Asphalt, that should be. No. All the developers have disabled the games on Mac. So 50 tracks seems to be the magic number on this Mac. 50 whole tracks, and it seems to be running fine. The great thing about 50 tracks is there is no fan noise that I'm hearing. I'm gonna go to, this is 4K. 4K is the maximum you can go in Chrome. It is playing back. Seems to be alright.
You guys just
3,
tuned in. We
4,
are
5,
trying to
6,
crash Chrome.
7. What's good is I'm still able to use Mac OS. It's still doing the damage. It's just not loading very quickly on the tabs. So right now we got Jetstream right now, and it got a score of 178. So 178 is Jetstream 2. So I'm gonna write that down. Jet 178, and this is the Air. And the Pro got 182. So as long as you have an application that gives like 100 milliseconds, a tenth of a second, just a little break between the heavy operations, then they will run about the same. It's still loading the project tree. I gotta say, it is a bit slow. This is just a fresh sample project. A bit slow, what's going on there? And it's finally got something on the screen. Good job. It's still loading the sidebar here. It should be. I'll show you maybe on the 16-incher how quickly that one does it. But this is a bit slow, I gotta say. It's 86 at the moment. So Android Studios is forcing me to use an x86 virtual device, and I don't think that would run, because when I go into ABD Manager and hit play, it's not, it says could not start ABD. It's all good. We got live Zoom up in this session. This is,
hello.
Hey, what's up guys? Yeah, you guys are legit. This is the show. This is the show. Everyone shout as much as you can. Enjoy yourselves. Sorry? Nice one. Right now with Zoom, we got 40 people on our Zoom. We got one guy at least on webcam, and I've got my webcam. We got loads of guys on webcams. Everyone's on webcams. Everyone's waving. What's up? What's up? Welcome to the show. We got the Heads of Techers Studio live, and MacBook Pro. There's no fan noise. It seems to be working fluid. So that's pretty sick, right?
So cool.
So Zoom is, we're getting a thumbs up from the MacBook Air. Is that it's the sound is so and so. So is the sound actually good? Is this audible? Like, does it sound better than the Pro did? Or is it worse? Is it noticeably worse? Give me a thumbs up if it sounds just as good as the Pro, and give me a thumbs down if it sounds worse than the MacBook Air. I'm guessing it's all middle. I'm getting a lot of middles over here. So I'm guessing if you guys are looking to Zoom, there is a noticeable difference in audio quality between the Pro and the Air. Situation happens, and it's got the stop on the screen. Zoom would like to record the super screen. So Zoom, I'm not even in the chat. And Zoom, look at this. This is why I don't trust Zoom, okay? Like, you see it right now. Can you see it right now? Zoom, Zoom is not, we've ended the Zoom meeting. I was talking about privacy concerns of Zoom. We've ended the Zoom meeting. Take a picture right now. Can you take a picture?
Alright, I'll take a picture.
Just in case you don't believe me. Ended the Zoom meeting, and Zoom is trying to record the computer screen. It's just requested permission to record the computer screen. So even though I've quit Zoom and I've exited out of the Zoom chat, in the background, it's secretly trying to capture my desktop. CSGO is no go. I'll hit play one more time and see if we can launch on the second attempt. A strike, it's not working. Look, it's obsolete. Yeah. And let's have it running. And it looks like 4K, 60 frames a second, runs on emulated. This is Rosetta 2 Google Chrome. And 4K New York one is slightly too much for it to handle. I'm going to drop it down. Oh, this is 8K. That's why. So the MacBook Air would only allow me to view 4K footage Whereas the MacBook Pro is allowing me to select 8K, and with 8K it is buffering every couple of seconds, so it's not able to do 8K on YouTube.
Twitch name?
Heads of Tech.
Heads of Tech.
On Twitch. The Twitch one, we're streaming live on a 13-inch MacBook Pro with a 4K video camera, webcam, and there's no fan noise whatsoever. The 16-inch MacBook, can you see the 16-inch? This 16-inch right now, all it is plugged into one little webcam, and it's fan noise C. It's temperature monitor, and let's see what we get. And it is 42 degrees. So this is as hot as it's gonna get. And we are maximum graphics on World of Warcraft. It's an old game, but not just that. I'm just gonna jump out World of Warcraft. Exit game, exit now. And what you need to remember, we have also been live streaming on multiple cameras at the same time. It's streaming all the way to Twitch, and that is using up 17% of the CPU. And Photoshop is still bouncing. Oh, on the screen. Let's see how much look at this spinny icon.
Oh.
We got a spinny icon. Spinny icon. 500 megabytes. You guys are very ambitious. I love it. I love it. You get a brand new hardware on Intel emulated application, and you're expecting it to run. I love the ambition. You don't want to wait until the ARM version of Photoshop is here. You're literally thinking, I guess Apple did say, oh, Tomb Raider runs fast and all that kind of stuff. So they did get you excited. Officially on the old iMac that Alexander would run Photoshop and this file on, it'll take about 10 seconds to launch. And this is a ½ gigabyte PSD, 500 megabyte PSD. Let's see how fast it's gonna launch it on the MacBook Pro. I'm actually gonna get the timer. 10 seconds is the time we wanna beat. Because 10 seconds is what the iMac would run it on. So I'm gonna
got 10 seconds to go.
10 seconds.
10
3,
seconds to go.
2, 1, launching is up. We got 1 second, 2 seconds, we got 3 seconds, we got 4 seconds, we got 5 seconds, we got 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds. Ooh. 1 second faster than the iMac, the old iMac that we're using. Is it still legible, this file? Am I able to zoom in? Look at that, I'm zooming in. It is a bit choppy, but again, this is a ½ gigabyte file. I'm sure you test it out on the Air as well. But let's see, what can I do? Let's just select some layers. Let's have a bit of fun. So I'm selecting a layer over here, and this one, I'm gonna move this one around. Let's see if it moves. It is a bit slow. Oh, there it is. I'm moving it. Some sort of stuff is happening over here. Let's try moving the whole show. Let's see, come on, T. Moving it. Oh, look at that, it moved. It's working, all right. It is a bit choppy, but again, this is a ½ gigabyte file.
Alexander's saying that's good.
It's good, it's good. And again, we're live streaming this on OBS, so that's surely doing an impact on the processor. This is the 8 gigabyte version of the RAM. CPU wise, it is using pretty much all of the CPU. So this is pretty much as fast as this CPU can go when it's doing these operations. Memory, we are using 6.7 gigabytes of RAM. 4.7 is in the swap. So that is a significant amount. 16 gigabytes will help you out going there. And remember, this is the beta version of the application, not the final version. It hopefully will get faster. Oh, this feels actually so good.
We look so funny, honestly.
Oh!
No! 3, 20.
When I was proposing to this lady, I learned to play the guitar. Where can I get the stat? There is stats. Boom! I'm seeing stats on the screen, guys. It is really so. With frame rate, we are getting 50 frames a second, and it is kicking. This is the game. Forget Fortnite. This is the game you want to play. Look at this. I'm making a run for this. It runs very, very smooth. Even it ran a lot smoother without OBS. With OBS, it ran less smooth. Of course, right now the fans are 6,000 out of 7,000, so they are a tiny bit audible. For programmers, I'd stick to the older generations for compatibility, unless you want to go through the first generation pains. As you can see, a lot of stuff is going to take some time to fix up. But if you're an innovator and you want to be the person that fixes stuff up and makes money from fixing that stuff up, then it is a good choice. And the best choice, I guess, the MacBook Pro, because it has a fan, but it doesn't make any noise, and it seems to work slightly better than other stuff. The Mac Mini was the fastest one. It ran 1% faster than the MacBook Pro. Didn't hear any fan noise again. I'm assuming it runs exactly the same as this MacBook Pro that you're currently seeing. I can always test it all. Performance overall, since someone's asking, is I'm very impressed because the score I got on this MacBook Pro and the Mac Mini with an external display, 7,600 points in Cinebench R23, whereas on the 16-inch MacBook Pro, the i7 model with 6 cores, it got 5,700. So I think I'm just, whoa, that is a big performance delta. So the ARM chips that they've made, and these are just the entry-level ARM chips that Apple have made, they're already bombastic. Bombastic. Now with serious applications like Final Cut Pro, I will still go to my 16-inch MacBook Pro because it does run it better. With Logic Pro, stuff like that, I'll probably, you get 50 tracks. You can get more tracks on the MacBook Pro, but you get Fan Noise City in those situations, or Fan Noise Nation as I like to call it nowadays. And there's a lot of, while you can get Unreal Engine running and you can get Unity running and you can get Brew running and all of these kind of applications running, even Android Studio running, with the Intel applications there is a noticeable kind of like slowness with these applications. Even with Photoshop, we ran Photoshop with a 500 megabyte file. It was insanely slow. Well, it wasn't slow to use, the graphics seems to run fine emulation wise, but it was slow to do the processing. So had the spinning wheel of death for like a few minutes, 5 minutes, and we just had to force quit it. Whereas the ARM version of Photoshop seemed to run that file very well. So overall performance, I'd say it has amazing potential. I love how quiet it is. We had Zoom running, 40 people were zooming in all together. It ran very well. The audio quality was great. So it has great potential. All it needs is just the developers to get their apps working with ARM. It can be doable. They've made their apps work from 32-bit to 64-bit. It should be very easy to get it working on ARM, and as soon as they do that, this is going to be a flawless machine. I can foresee the death of Intel and everyone jumping ship and joining the ARM revolution. Apple are always the innovators in the space. Wherever Apple go, everyone seems to follow. So I'm pretty sure next year, all the Windows laptops, they're going to go full ARM, and the desktops, they're going to go ARM. I know the fastest supercomputer in the world is now ARM, so ARM is now the future, and that's why I'm thinking about the situation here. Should you get this MacBook Pro? Well, I've said this, my thoughts over and over again, so it's up to you guys to decide. But performance-wise, things are running. The emulated stuff, graphics-wise, runs well, but the processing-wise runs a bit slow. ARM stuff runs really well. And of course, Apple have just released a Mac OS update, so maybe it will run even better very soon. So I hope you guys found this video.
I did. Okay. Just one final thing. Okay. We have got a widget. I have not. £5. You legends.
Okay, let's do it.
You legends.
Widget. Oh, widget. Oh, widget. I have not got a widget. I have not got a widget. My name is a widget. Have I got a widget? I have not got a widget. A widget. Mugsham Biro is my hero. Oh, Mugsham turned me into a zero. Mugsham is the hero. Mugsham the hero. Jerimo the hero. I am a zero, and he is a hero. A hero. Jerimo. Jerimo. Remember the name.